Good morning, this is the Eager Beaver Show.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and The Pepper Master, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. Well, good morning and hello, kids, and welcome to Season 3 and episode number 222 of the Daily Beaver Morning Show here on the Crier Media Network. Yeah. Today, recording day is Wednesday, October 4th, 2023, and it is going to be a nice day here at the Beaver Lodge. And it's a beautiful day in Canada, and it's a gorgeous day in Manitoba in particular. I'm your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he, him, hey, Mr. Beaver A, and with me as always is my good friend, Mr. Grizzly. Of course, a big thank you goes to our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, CanadianTarot.com, and the Pepper Master, because you got to keep it spicy every now and then. All right. We have a Wednesday morning nibble for you. Hopefully, if we're lucky, Mr. Charles Adler will drop in for a quick chat. But before any of that happens, let's do the most important thing we do at the Beaver Lodge, and that is say hello to you, Mr. Grizzly, and ask how's your mental health today, sir.
Well, good morning, Mr. Beaver. I'm in great spirits, although my mouse is not cooperating. I'm ready to throw it out the freaking window. I'm in great spirits because I have a lot of hope for our country after the two votes yesterday, one in the House of Commons electing Speaker Greg Fergus, local MP, and Kinew winning the race for premier of the province of Manitoba, showing some actual progressiveness in this country for a change. And I think the sea change has begun, and I see good things for our future if we can stay on the right path. As we've said time and time again, there are more of us than there are of them. And I hate to put people in categories of them, but we watched some of them yesterday on the show at their Save the Freedom Convoy rally or whatever the hell it is they're doing this week. And these are uninformed individuals who are ignorant of facts, who have been believing QAnon conspiracy theory stuff for a long time. So I'll put them in the them category, even though I don't like to do that because I don't want to divide us. But I mean, come on. I do think there are more progressive, like-minded individuals across this country. And I think many people who voted in that election yesterday were former progressive conservatives who just don't have a party that represents them anymore. And they didn't see the Liberals as an option, so they went for WAB. And you know what? I think a lot of people voted NDP because of WAB Kinew. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he understands things a little bit better than his, not predecessors, but his opponent. I'll look at, I wouldn't qualify the Liberal leader as the opponent because They only won one seat in the whole province, I think, at the end of it.
Yeah.
So, I just think people wanted a progressive option, and they've got one with Wob, and he's an intelligent individual. And sure, people are going to, make hay of his past. But hey, what about Scott Moe? He actually killed a woman. So, let's put the focus where it should be, on the fact that Manitoba has decided to go progressive, has decided that the status quo no longer works, and that campaigning on hatred in racist ways is just not something that people want. I think the vast majority of people, anyway.
I have to agree. I am happy with the result as well for similar reasons, and it's just my faith in Canadians is once again
Restored.
not restored, confirmed.
Confirmed, yes, because it was never really lost.
No. Because my personal belief is always that Canadians are pretty much decent, good people, that were fair play, and that we're pretty much middle of the road. And we don't like certain things.
Mhm.
And even though it already was signaled that it was a change election, the progressive conservatives made some choices that were not great.
Well, they were not progressive.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, exactly. So,
As Cassie has said on this show many times in the chat, her party left a long time ago.
oh yeah,
Right? Charles Adler said the same thing. That party does not exist anymore.
yep, exactly. Now, it's really interesting because it's not a blowout in terms of popular vote, which is not a thing. Um, the parties were relatively close, 5 or 6% difference, but it made all the difference in seats. We went from a legislature where, well, at the dissolution, the Progressive Conservatives had 35 seats, but they had 136 in the election in 2019, 18 New Democratic seats and 3 Liberal seats. So the Liberals dropped 3 seats, dropped 2 seats down to 1, and the leader, Dougal Lamont, did lose his seat.
Mhm.
It's a candidate named Cynthia Lamoureux who won hers. So I don't know if she will de facto eventually become the leader of the Manitoba Liberal Party as being the only sitting member, or somebody else will. But they're down to 1. They got about 10.8% of the vote share, as it's stated at the moment. The Progressive Conservative Party of Manitoba got 41.9% of the vote, but that only led to 19 seats this time. The New
Mm.
Party got 45.4% of the vote, which led to 30 seats in terms of being elected. Now, if you add them all together, that makes 50. And since you need 29 for a majority, the Manitoba New Democratic Party does have a majority, but there are supposed to be 57 seats. So there are results for 7 seats that are still not in terms of elected. They're still counting.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so there are seats that are too close to call there. So we'll find out more as it goes on. But it is a clear, decisive victory, and at least a 11-seat majority in a legislature that only has 57 seats. A mandate. That's a simple mandate, even though like I said, even though the vote share um, is not different. So I don't have a map, and I don't have the Manitoba elections site in front of me, but it would seem that maybe the Progressive Conservatives got lots of superfluous votes in electoral districts that they already had for such a small margin. I mean, it's only 3.5%
Mhm.
vote share, making that big difference. Um, so there you go. Really interesting things in terms of the data. It seems that Heather Stephenson, well, she might be in one of the ridings that's too close to call at the moment. So we don't know if she's lost her seat. The last I checked, when the broadcast went off the air yesterday, she was still leading by about maybe 300 votes with one poll left, but there's enough people in that poll that it could swing to the NDP candidate if that one pool has an overwhelming greater number of votes. So they weren't able to give us a final result last night. Of course, when there's election, there are victory and concession speeches. And Mr. Grizzly, if you would, we have a victory speech this time from Mr. Rob Kinew.
I just want to show you something quickly before we have a look at that.
All right.
Because this is when things backfire. This is when things backfire. It would appear the voters of Manitoba decided to let their secret NDP feelings out in the voting booth, and evidently they weren't as alone as the PC expected them to be. You're alone in the voting booth. You're in the voting booth alone.
Nice.
Right? It's like, oopsie.
Thank you for reminding us progressive conservatives that we actually can vote NDP because nobody's watching. That's a big old thumb up for you.
You're watching. Yeah. They kind of shot themselves in the foot on that one, didn't they? So let's have a look at this. We've got some stuff to watch here. A couple minutes worth of video. Hang on. Oh,
Analysts in there, especially Aaron, when it was rarely the case that I did see eye to eye with Heather Stephenson, but we have to admit, being the premier is not an easy job, no matter who you are, especially the first woman premier. So props to her.
Oh yeah, that's way off. It's 3:30, 3:15.
In terms of during the campaign and the leadership, then for her resonating with voters, because we did know that we had polling that she.
Yeah, that's good. Apologies for that, kids.
This is a great victory for us. This is a great victory for all of us in Manitoba. Wow. Manitoba. My dear, sweet Manitoba, look at what we have done here tonight. You know, a lot of people in the big cities, they look down on us here in Manitoba. Flyover country, they said. Winterpeg, man, it's cold out, they said. But look what little old Manitoba did tonight. Manitoba did something more progressive than any of those big cities ever did. We elected a strong team of New Democrats to fix health care and make your life more affordable. To the people in healthcare, to the people working in the bedside today, to the people thinking of pursuing a career, to healthcare workers across the country, in other provinces around the world, I have a simple message to you. We need you. We are doing exciting things with healthcare here in Manitoba. We're going to build new emergency. We're going to build a new cancer care headquarters. More clinician researchers to bring the best quality care to you, the people of Manitoba. And so, for all the people out there who work in healthcare, we need you. The nurses, the doctors, the healthcare professionals, the healthcare aides, we need you to work with us to build something special here in the healthcare system in I want to speak to the young Nietzsches out there. I want to speak to young people from all backgrounds. Really, I want to speak to people of all ages, but I want to speak to young Beachies in particular. I was given a second chance in life. And I would like to think that I've made good on that opportunity. And you can do the same. Here's how. My life became immeasurably better when I stopped making excuses and I started looking for a reason. And I found that reason in our family. I found that reason in our community. And I found that reason in our province and country. And so to young people out there who want to change your life for the better, you can do it. But here's the thing. You have to want it. You have to want it. If you want to leave the party lifestyle behind, it has to be you to make the decision. If you want to join the workforce, get a new career, it has to be you to take the first step. And if you're dealing with some kind of illness and you want to find healing, it has to be you to decide to move forward. I can't do that for you. A government can't do that for you. You have to be the person to decide to take the first step. But here is what our government can do. Looking at the team right now, government. Sounds pretty good, huh? But here's what our government can do. If you decide to take the first step and leave behind, our government will make sure that there is a path to recovery for you. If you decide to go to work, our government will make sure that there is a training program with a good job at the end of it waiting for you. And if you decide to get out of bed one more day to fight the cancer, then our government is going to make sure that you have the best quality cancer care of anywhere in the world right here in Manitoba. I want more Manitobans to hear those 4 magic words. You are cancer-free. And so to young people who are looking for a positive path, I want to share the words that my father always told us. Ando buachigek. Seek your vision. Seek your vision. Dreams come true. To people in rural Manitoba, to people in northern Manitoba, I want to say thank you for sending people from your communities to sit with our team at the Manitoba Legislature. And to people in rural Manitoba who haven't voted for us yet, I would ask you to keep an open mind. And if our team delivers, if after a few years we have improved your health care and we've made your life a bit more affordable, I would humbly ask that in 4 years' time you send more people from your communities to sit with our team in the Manitoba Legislature. To the business community, I look forward to sitting down with you. And you know that one of my fundamental political beliefs is that the economic horse pulls the social cart. But tonight, the Manitoba NDP is going to rock the house. I want to thank the outgoing Premier, Heather Stefanson. I want to thank you for your service to our province. I want to thank you for your service to our province and country. You were the first woman Premier of Manitoba, and I look forward to working with you on an orderly transition as we stand up Manitoba's next government, a Manitoba NDP government. And to the people of Manitoba, on behalf of our team, I want to express our tremendous gratitude for this awesome responsibility that you have bestowed upon us. I want to say thank you, because at the start of this campaign, our team made a decision. We chose to believe in you. We chose to believe that given the choice, you, the people of Manitoba, would embrace a positive campaign focused on the future, focused on fixing healthcare and making the economy more affordable, and that you would reject the divisive message sent by our opponents. And I want to thank you for investing your trust in us. But really, I want to thank you for showing the rest of Canada and the world what we have known all along. The people of Manitoba are good people. And so there will be challenging times ahead, I'm sure. I'm sure that not every day is going to be easy, but I can promise you that every single day, this Manitoba NDP team is going to get up and work our hardest to serve you, the people of Manitoba. And I know that the road ahead will not be easy. But there is one thing that the results of tonight's vote show crystal clear. And it is, we can do amazing things when we stand together as one province. We can accomplish awesome tasks when we stand together as one people. And there is no challenge that we cannot meet when we unite as one Manitoba. Miigwech. Merci. Thank you very much.
Well, I thought that was pretty moving, and something that I don't know if people picked up on, but I thought his part saying, "We'll be there to help you if you make the right decision." Like it's your responsibility to make sure you do the right thing. Like take care of yourself. You know, get out of bed, quit the alcohol, quit the drugs, get a job, go to school. We're going to help you, but you have to make that decision. That, my friends, believe it or not, was once the platform of the Progressive Conservative Party federally.
Yes.
That was literally in the progressive platform of the federal Progressive Conservative Party. No word of a lie. That was what we will give you a hand up, not a hand out. So you make the decision, and we'll be there to support you.
Yep.
I'm like, well, who can't get behind that message, though, right? That's an actual progressive message,
Yes.
and it does fall in line with the actual New Democratic Party's mentality. Everybody seems to think there's people who spread the rumors that, oh no, NDP's in, they're just going to give everything away, somebody else's money. It's like, no, that's never what the party was. And I think he really relayed that message right then and there.
Yep.
I think this is super positive for the province. Hopefully, it will lead to a sea change provincially across the country. Whether they vote Liberal or NDP in each province in the next election that remains to be seen. But we've seen what the current crop of reform parties who, I know the provincial and federal are different parties, and they call themselves progressive conservatives, but there's nothing progressive about them. They've attracted the reformers and the religious zealots and the racists, and you can make an accusation here that I'm being ridiculous, except the proof is in the pudding, and we've seen it.
Yep.
We've seen it all, right?
Yep, indeed, absolutely. Also, because the listeners couldn't hear it, but when he mentioned Premier Heather Stefanson and you heard the crowd sort of booing a little bit, he actually put his hand out to stop it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. And considering how she campaigned against him, that was a pretty high class move right there.
Very kind of him.
Yes, because he could have given back as good as he got, and I don't think anybody would have. Well, I mean, you would have still had the people saying, "Yeah, he's not being classy or he's not being statements," but they went low.
He took the high road.
Yeah, he really
took the high road.
He took the sky high road on that one, and that. I say I'm not sure I would have been as gracious. I probably would have been, but I would have been swallowing hard while doing it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you have the second clip lined up, Mr. Grizzly.
I do. This is the concession speech.
Yes, from now former Premier Heather Stefanson, and I'm just really sad. There's only one thing that makes me sad about it is that I can no longer make the Jason Kinney and bad drag jokes. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh,
tell me I'm
great
wrong.
For Manitoba, but kind of takes away from our content creation, right?
Tell me, have you ever seen Jason Kinney and Heather Stefanson in the same room? I'm telling you, he's undercover. I'm telling you, play it.
Well, my mouse is going crazy here. I think it needs to be recharged. It's I have this ability to slow the trackball down by clicking a little button, so it goes from high speed to like crawl, snail's pace, and it seems to get stuck on snail's pace every time I do it to adjust. Oh, I got to turn up the volume, and it just did it again. Jesus, hang on a sec. It's really pissing me off. I hope it isn't dead.
Kit MPK goes the same with the pokeroo.
Headquarters, hugging, family. Let's listen in.
Wow.
Oh.
What an evening. Thank you all for being here and for your tremendous support. It's been an incredible honor for me to serve Manitoba for the past 23 years. And I'd like to thank... to thank each and every one of you who have given me the immense privilege. I have been a candidate for 7 elections, and I respect the will of the voters, and today the voters have spoken. I want to thank the residents of the great constituency of Tuxedo. I have served the community for the last 23 years. It's my family. It's a place where my family have called home for generations. Moments ago, I called Wab Kinew to congratulate him on becoming the next Premier of Manitoba. Mr. Kinew, I don't always agree on everything, but like me, I know that he loves this province and he loves the people of Manitoba. And I wish him all the best and will make every effort in a smooth transition in the premiership.
This election was a very important one, and the historic nature of Mr. Kinew's victory must be acknowledged here this evening. Wab, your win tonight inspires a future generation of Indigenous youth to get involved in our democratic process, not just here in Manitoba, but right across the country. Wab, congratulations for that. So there are a few thank yous that I'd like to make this evening to our campaign co-chairs, to Candace Bergen and to Joe Bova, to my campaign manager and friend, Marnie Larkin, and there are so many others who have played an integral role in this campaign. You know who you are, and from the bottom of my heart, I thank each and every one of you for being involved in this incredible campaign. To our team of candidates, to our volunteers and members, thank you for putting your trust in me and for stepping up to serve your community. I also want to recognize those who are not with us this evening and who have represented their communities very diligently over the course of the last number of years, those MLAs who were not re-elected tonight. My heart goes out to you, and I thank each and every one of you for representing your communities with dignity. Thank you so much for your service to Manitoba. And to our newly elected MLAs from all sides of the House, I offer special congratulations. I remember the excitement I felt when I first was elected that night, and I hope you feel the same way. You have captured the optimism and the confidence of your community. Congratulations to each and every one of you this evening. We all know, those of us who have put our name on the ballot in the past, that we can't do this on our own. We can't do this without the support of our family. To Jason, to Victoria, to Tommy, who are here with me tonight, thank you for always standing with me. Thank you for being there with me. We know that there has been some great times in the past 23 years, and there's been some challenging times, no doubt. But every step of the way you have been with me, and I could not have done it without you. Thank you so much. Tonight, I stand before you feeling honored to have served as your Premier. Together, we have been able to accomplish so much in just under 2 years. We have faced unprecedented challenges, including a global pandemic, the unjust war in Ukraine, and challenging economic times. Yet we were able to move Manitoba forward. We implemented the largest personal income tax cuts in Manitoba history. We made our province more competitive. We made significant advancements in economic reconciliation with Indigenous communities. We brought the budget back to balance while making historic investments in healthcare and education and in social services. Our progressive Conservative government has set up our province for great success. Now, I have served in opposition in the past, so I understand the fundamental role that opposition plays in our democracy. As we head to the other side of the House, I can tell Manitobans that the team of PC MLAs that you elected tonight will keep fighting for you, and we will hold the new government's feet to the fire. But friends, it is with a heavy heart tonight that I am announcing that I will be stepping down as the leader of the Progressive Conservative Party of Manitoba. And I look forward to meeting with caucus and the party executive to prepare the path forward from tonight. And I look forward to working with the party to ensure a smooth process is in place to replace me as your leader. It has been the honor of my life. Of Manitoba with the many roles that I have held over the years. And I thank all Manitobans from the bottom of my heart for giving me the privilege to serve as the first women premier in this beautiful province of ours. Thank you so much tonight. Have a great night, everyone.
Did she say first women premier?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Not woman, but women.
Yeah, it's a slip of the tongue. That's fine.
Yeah. I was trying to confirm that's what I heard.
Yep. That's what you heard.
I have one comment to make, and then the floor is yours, sir. I don't know who the audio engineer who set that up was, but oh my God, he did not engineer her voice very well. It was going right through my skull like a dentist drill. Because she doesn't always sound like that.
No,
it was EQ'd very badly.
Yep. Overall, classy, particularly when you consider that there were some rumblings in the final days of some people within the party and connected to the party already talking about "quote unquote" a rigged election. So that in her concession speech, that validates the actual election and says that she will do everything she can to do an orderly transfer of power, which apparently these days you can't take for granted. Meant a lot. And then her comment about hoping that Mr. Kinew's victory would stimulate a wave of more active engagement from the Indigenous community in Manitoba was also a very beautiful expression. A standard concession speech in a way, but with some extra nice touches. And it's nice to see that both leaders made efforts to keep it classy.
I agree.
Which is good. We need more of that. I don't know how we're doing on time, Mr. Grizzly.
15 minutes.
Got 15 minutes. Okay. Mr. Dougal Lamont had also announced that he would step aside because he too lost his seat. I don't think that they had a big concession speech with him, at least not on the broadcast, but they did have an interview with him.
I did see that earlier.
Yeah, Mr. Grizzly, I think if you go to about 2:23:47 on the timestamp, it'll be just after that that they bring him in. And we can play a little bit of that. It's a little sad in that sense that he is departing. The NDP candidate Robert Loisel defeated him, also a francophone from the St. Boniface area, because he seemed to be generally well liked and respected throughout the province. But Orange Crush. As I say. Are you ready, Mr. Grizzly?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's have a look at this. I did watch this last night. It is, melancholy to say the least.
That defeat. Yep. We actually have Dougal Lamont standing by at Manitoba Liberal Party headquarters. Mr. Lamont, can you hear me? It's Janet Stewart.
Yeah, I can hear you.
When you were interviewed you were interviewed by my colleague Marcy Marcusa, and she said, if you lose your riding, will you stay on as leader? And you said yes. What changed?
That's not what that wasn't actually the question. The question is if we didn't have a breakthrough. So yes, so I lost my seat. So that's why I gave up. That's why I resigned as Manitoba Liberal leader tonight. Because
the Liberal leader must be in the caucus, must be in the House, must have a seat. Does that mean that it's only Cindy Lamoureux? No.
No, I was the leader of the Manitoba. No, I was, sorry, to be clear, I was the leader of the Manitoba Liberal Party without a seat when I won in St. Boniface in 2018. It's because I've lost my seat in St. Boniface that I'm stepping down, because clearly I've lost the confidence of the people of St. Boniface. And quite frankly, yeah, I mean, I hope Cindy, it'll be difficult for her, I'm sure, but I'm glad she's still there. But this is what happens. I was targeted in St. Boniface by the NDP, and that's the way it goes.
You sound like you're taking this personally. Are you? Does it feel personal?
Does it feel personal? Well, it's not a question of being a personal. I've just lost an election. I've just resigned as leader. It's extremely difficult. I just spent 5 years of my life or more working incredibly hard to make the lives of Manitobans better and put forward good new ideas. And quite frankly, it's a difficult thing to deal with. I'm just human.
Well, I appreciate you taking the moment in this difficult time to speak with us, sir. What needs to change as far as you're concerned for a third party, for the Manitoba Liberal Party to become a real player in our elections?
That's a very, very big question, but I think the fact is that, like I said, we're a true grassroots party, and the other two parties are largely supported and have had all sorts of supports by very large organizations, and that makes it hard for us to compete. If you had things like campaign finance reform, if you had different kinds of say electoral reform, but the other two parties have no interest in doing that whatsoever, because they really just want to keep this a duopoly.
Dude Lamont, you've got the province of Manitoba listening right now. What would you like to say to them?
Look, Manitoba is a fantastic province with fantastic people. It has a tremendous future and lots of possibilities. I wish everyone the best. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I hope to still make a contribution in some way or another. I'm very proud of everything we've done and my candidates. We did incredible work. And it's too bad it didn't resonate, or even if it did resonate, that it didn't result in votes. At the end of the day, I think we made a positive. I know we made a very major positive contribution to Manitoba in our time in office, and I'm very proud of that. And we'll see where we go from here.
John Gerard, long-standing member of your party, could lose his seat as well tonight. What would you like to say to him and his supporters, and about that?
Well, that's just, look, again, it's an orange wave. The fact is, John is an extraordinary person who's made incredible contributions to Manitoba as well. He's saved lives. He's done incredible work for the environment, for Indigenous people, for people with disabilities. And look, I'll say the one thing that's unfortunate is that one of the things we could do that the other parties was that we would speak up for people who would be rejected by the other parties. People would go and talk to other parties. They would be ignored. And we were the only ones who would speak up. It was easier to do that with 3 people. And but look, I mean, this is it. This is part of what happens. It's an orange wave, and sometimes there's nothing. Like we were saying, either we could win 6 seats or we'd be wiped out. And unfortunately, we were basically wiped out. So I knew that this was a possibility. Now that it's come to pass, it's not pleasant, but we all have to move on.
Dougald Lamont, I know a lot of people in this province wish you very well and thank you for the dedication you've given to our democracy. Good night.
He sounded very angry. I think Hughes kind of hit it on the head there with his comment. Prissy arsehole. If you want votes, have good policies. If you want to blame other parties, 3 fingers are pointing at you. This guy is not ready for premier. I think he had a really difficult time with that interview. I watched it last night and it was like...
The questions weren't great.
No, they weren't. And she was confused on a few things here and there, but he was pissed off and it showed. And I think he was doing his best to try and contain it. But he's like, I was targeted by the NDP. It's like, what? No, that's politics, dude. You've done this for a little while. You should know this by now.
It was a momentum election. Momentum elections, you go into the cabinet ministers and the leaders' seats. if you think you can win them or do damage. It's a tried and tested play.
I'm gonna suggest and this is just somebody who deals with anger and depression, because anger is a side part of depression. I'm gonna suggest he go seek some counseling after this, because I can see some issues there that I see in myself. Sometimes when I express myself in a similar manner like that, when I get my ass handed to me and I feel that way, it's like I go back. I would respond like he did in the past, but now I reflect internally, meditate on it, and realize, no, this is just my brain doing these things to me. Except that you lost. You lost because you weren't good enough to win. That's how it happens. I've learned to accept that. But not everybody figures that out.
Or maybe you were good enough, but it wasn't your time.
Well, then there's that too.
The moment wasn't yours.
There's a million factors as to why you didn't win, but getting angry at other people, no.
Yeah.
And that's the vibe I got off of him. And it was sad, because he's probably a good guy. I don't know. I've never met him.
He seems, from the comments I've heard from following the election, he seems to be very, very well liked. So I'm sure there are a lot of people that, they felt that he was a presence that was adding something valuable, but it was about 13% in the last election, about 11% this election for the Liberals in Manitoba. So, even vote share went down. I mean,
a lot of people probably went into the ballot box thinking, okay, look, the Liberals haven't got a hope in hell, and I cannot vote for the Conservatives.
And I
don't know if there's...
Yeah, and I absolutely don't want a minority this time.
Exactly. So I'll vote for my NDP representative in my riding. And I think that's what took place in this election. We'll see what happens in the next provincial election.
Yeah.
Where in the next province, It's like...
As Kit Linda says, the NDP knew they needed every single seat, and it's natural that they would want to get those 3 Liberal seats, not rocket science that they went after them. In fact, of all the seats,
really,
3 Liberal seats might have been the ones that they thought was the easiest pickings.
Yeah.
Considering political alignment, right? So yeah, it's but yeah, I mean, you could also imagine, like you said, you're putting in 5 years and you didn't get anywhere near the results you hoped for, not even a little bit of an improvement. I can understand how someone would take that hard in the moment as well.
Yeah. And I don't think he'd resigned himself to the fact that, like, here's my take on this.
He was really hoping for balance of power.
Yes, and I don't think he's accepted that he has not accepted his loss at this point. Because it's somebody who would have accepted it, as Heather Stephenson did demonstrate. Okay.
She's had months to accept it.
Well, that's true too. That's true too. But I mean, she was a lot more gracious in it than he was.
Yes. Yep. Indeed. Also, a lot of...
and I believe me, I didn't like saying that.
No. And I noticed some kids picked up on it because I didn't mention it at the time. But yes, when Heather Stephenson had mentioned Candice Bergen as one of the managers of her campaign, probably not the best choice.
She's a horrible human being.
And now, of course, there's some chatter on the chat with the kids about, wondering if Candice will be throwing her hat in the ring, her camo Trump MAGA hat in the ring to be the leader. I really hope not. I mean, even if she's terrible, and even if it might increase Kinew's chances of winning a second election if they perform
and create a lot of content.
Minimally, yes. If they're minimally competent, when she exited stage right, she could just keep on walking, as far as I'm concerned. Just don't come back. Just go. Stay retired.
F off. And when you F off to the end of the world, and when you get there, climb over the fence, keep effing off, and live the dream.
Just stay with that.
Just keep going.
All right.
Don't look back in anger. Don't look back at all.
Yeah, really. That's a different ending to that Oasis song. Yes. Don't look back in anger. Don't look back at all. Just keep walking. Bye-bye.
Keep going. Live the dream.
Mr. Beasley, do we have a show?
Just about. I have something for you. I want to show you quickly. Yeah,
Okay.
well, just a couple of minutes here. I just want to show you something quickly. It's a 40-second clip, but it's the tweet that lands ahead of it that I want you to see. And I've mentioned this gentleman on the show a couple of times because he's a brilliant individual, Stephen Punwase.
Mm-hmm.
So, when are we moving to Manitoba? Newly elected Premier Wab Kinew is smart and actually understands the budget. That's going to be a refreshing start for a province. Plus, he's got mad flow. We can only hope he brings to government. And here's his mad flow. Check this out. This is Wab rapping.
I'm not a Sun Tzu. I see no art in war. I believe in peace. That's what this pipe is for. You may hear the vision, think it's an oddity that police and thugs could be living in some harmony, but follow me. Yes, I got the mental fitness. I don't go to court, but still I bear witness. Matthew's sister teaches cops, yes, that's her business. Damn, man, can you imagine the forgiveness? And she forgives cops, we should forgive the criminals. If they change their ways, then respect the individual.
So there's a little bit of Wab, Premier-elect of the province of Manitoba, doing a little rap there, and some poignant words from Stephen Punwase, who is, if you don't follow Stephen on Twitter, he hasn't been tweeting a lot. He's kind of taken a bit of a hiatus, but he's a finance and tech guy, co-founding of At Better Dwelling. And he has documented and written papers on the housing issue in this country and how it was largely created. It goes back to the Mulroney government through the Chrétien years, how they downloaded federal onto provincial and the provincial downloaded to municipalities, and how Harper changed the rules on foreign ownership. And now you have all these foreign owners of just buying up condos left, right, and center in Toronto and nobody living in them. Then the individuals who buy Airbnb. It's a great bit of writing. I suggest you give him a follow. It's at Stephen Punwase, Punwasi, and you can find At Better Dwelling, which is a company he's formed, and it's data-driven housing news. Need to contact us? Hit us on our beeper, info@betterdwelling.com. I like the beeper line. Yeah, so there we are.
Okay. All right. Kids, Cubs, that's the end of this episode of the Eager Beaver podcast, our morning show. We hope that you love listening to us because we loved making this for you. Remember, sharing is caring and word of mouth is priceless. So please, 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 please tell all your peeps and poops about us and let them know that we're around and that we provide some good quality content. Because democracy is something that you do. Well, you don't have to vote in the Manitoba election now. I can't tell you to keep doing that because it's come and gone. And I can't tell you to vote in that by-election in Jean Talon because it's come and gone. So we're back to the Red Cross and writing our newspapers and our MLAs and our senators and our MPs to let them know that we demand better. All right, kids? If you would like to subscribe to us and not miss an episode, well, then you go to our Podpage site, which is now sponsored by the Ray Girl. Yes, that's podpage.com/The True North Eager Beaver, lowercase letters with a hyphen between each one of those words. And when we have something fresh off the bandwidth, we'll come directly to you. And since you like subscribing, why don't you make like Kit Elaine and smash some buttons on our YouTube, our True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated YouTube site, where we have 3 buttons like, I was going to say like, smash, and subscribe. There is no smash button to smash on the YouTube site. Like this. It would be a nice touch, but we don't. Like, share, and subscribe. So please do that. We really appreciate it. And if you would like to encourage us to do more, well, that squiggly that just appeared by Mr. Grizzly's head right there, that will bring you to our coffee page where we have the Eager Beaver Lodge Emergency Hydration Fund that keeps us lubricated today, I will say, to make sure that we can deliver an excellent episode to you as often as we can. So for that, if you're not watching and don't have a cell phone to scan handy, you use your beautiful digits on those gorgeous hands or your voice command to go to ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, lowercase letters, all in one word. And that's where you can make your contribution. And we really appreciate everything. And once again, we have to say thank you to the Ray Girl, who not only sponsors Podpage, but decided to extend their generosity and send us another tip and to encourage us through coffee. So thank you. You're really, 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 really good to us. And
really
we appreciate it. Yeah,
we really do.
Yes. From the Beaver Lodge, this is your eager beaver saying, kids, it could be a tough world out there. So please be kind to and gentle with yourself. And as Kit Cassie said, Kit Saucy are discussing, yes, in the United States, Kevin McCarthy is out. Who would have known that 2 neighboring nations would be getting new speakers within days for totally different reasons?
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Yeah. One because one honored a Nazi and one because one probably is. Anyway, sorry. Did that come out loud? Mr. Grizzly, please roll them credits. Oh, no. Before words of wisdom. Sorry, I forgot to ask you for your words of wisdom. I asked you to roll the credits.
No worries, man.
Premature enunciation.
Words of wisdom today. I'm struggling right now emotionally. I'm going through some really dark times, and when that happens, I try and do my best to be as kind as I possibly can be to everyone around me. Sometimes that's difficult because when you're fighting through depression, you have a very short fuse, and the smallest little things can make you go nuts. There were times when, before I started medication, I was trying to make a pot of coffee and I couldn't get the coffee filter to open to go in the thing. And I ended up throwing the whole thing across the room and freaking out. I don't do that anymore. And I try and breathe deeply to calm myself, but I'm not myself right now. And I apologize for anybody who I may be, not giving them the kindness that they deserve. They deserve. Do you know that old Marilyn Monroe saying, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best? Yeah. Go to hell, Marilyn. Go to hell with that. Nobody deserves my worst. You should not have to handle me at my worst. I should always give you my best. I think that statement is so bloody selfish. I get it. We all have bad days, but nobody needs to handle that. We all got our own shit we're dealing with. So I don't need to pile on onto another human being. That's my take. How anybody else feels about that is entirely up to them. But on a day like today, when I am in a dark place and I am suffering and I'm going to go to work and I'll be happy and sunshiny, when I get home, I'll have to sleep because it does take all my energy to present my best self. On days like today, as the saying goes from the late, great Robin Williams, everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind. That's all I got to say.
All right. My dear friend, I am sorry to learn today that you are having a much tougher day. So whatever you need, if you call me, I'm there for you, and I'm putting my arms around you and giving you a big squeeze.
Well,
I love you very much.
I love you too, man. I got this lady right here who's been in my corner taking care of me as well. So it's...
Thank you, Miss.
She wanted to say something quickly.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to have some levity to end the show. And this is apropos of nothing. Am I on?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm learning how to fix things. I really enjoy learning how to fix things. And I can't recommend enough the Princess Auto catalog. I've been a fan of Princess Auto for a long time, but it's almost like comedy reading it. So I just want to, if anyone has any advice, I just saw there's a hot buy, $60 for a freezer jacket. What the fuck is a freezer jacket? If anyone knows the answer and why I should spend $60.
I honestly don't know. I don't know.
It's a freezer jacket.
I don't know.
Who needs a jacket?
Apparently somebody needs it. I don't know. It's for people who work in meat packing plants.
I don't know.
All right. I'm going to roll the credits.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum. And The Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. All right, Mr. Grizzly. Yeah, yes, a little abrupt. Mr. Grizzly, you say you had something?
Yeah, we all know who Sarah Fisher is, right?
Yeah.
Conservative Party mouthpiece, I guess. Is that her official title? Well, yesterday she tweeted this. Under the autocratic rule of Justin Trudeau, Canada has devolved into a dystopian government-controlled nightmare. I can't wait for this period to end. I want Canada to be a country once again filled with optimism, ambition, hope, innovation, promise, and freedom. And my response was, I told you, stop drinking the bong water. It's seriously affecting your cognitive function. You're speaking gibberish again.
Yep. Indeed. These people. Somebody had told her, I think, or something like this. No, we don't live in an autocratic country. Like, just stop. Anyway, they always.
If we did, she wouldn't be able to say that.
Exactly. She's not. Remember, she tried to drink a box of water. So.
Yeah.
All right.